Okay, good morning everyone. We'll start our lesson 4. Today lesson is about LO4, which is be able to communicate taxation information to all relevant stakeholders. So it's quite generic topic, which is normally we learn in business academic skills. So this is all about to inform the stakeholders. Okay, so in previous lessons we discuss about prof uh, professional ethics, we discuss about parent subsidiary associate, we discuss about capital gain tax, we discuss various other element within a corporation, individual and personal tax, that was in our lessons. And today is more about business communication. And today lesson indicative content, what we're supposed to be learning is stakeholders includes all these shareholders, implies potential investors, directors, and communications to include email, how we can communicate, which one is the best, how we can inform about the result, taxation legislation, and how we can inflow or outflow the information to our various stakeholders, those are internal and external. Okay, we all know about stakeholders. What is meant by stakeholders?
The shareholders of the company.
Shareholders of the company are the stakeholders. Okay. Anyone else? Shareholders are the investor. Yes, it can be stakeholders as well because they have a stake in the business. Is
Yeah,
it what? What about other stakeholders? Any other stakeholders?
the directors.
Yes, directors. So shareholders also stakeholders, but not all the stakeholders are the shareholders. Yes. So directors, of course, well done. Directors, employees, yes. These are in various internal and external stakeholders we discuss. Stakeholders mean anybody who has any interest in the business or their life will be impacted due to our action. Those are called stakeholders. Anybody who has any interest, the generation will come after us is also stakeholders. If we polluted environment, their life will be impacted due to the environmental issues. So those are also stakeholders. So stakeholders is a wide term, and as a company, as an organization, we have to meet their expectation. We have to think about if we taxation, we have a social responsibility. Yes, that's why the company published the report on the corporate social responsibility. Taxation can play a key role as well in the stakeholders' interest. So that's why we need to be communicate with the various. So if we want to be communication effective, it need to be two ways. If it's a one way, that maybe we can't really get the feedback. So communication need to be effective. So a stakeholder is a group of individuals who has an interest, what organization does and expectation of the organization. It is important the organization understand the needs of different stakeholders. So like a manager's job is to understand and contribute the relationship with the stakeholder, assessing the expectation of the stakeholder. So every stakeholder, and we'll try to be satisfy and balance between them, because sometimes maybe we focus more about the shareholder but we're missing, because the shareholder wants more return than the dividend, yes, pay less taxes, maybe we are not fulfilling our legal and moral responsibilities. So stakeholder broader category. Anybody any question please?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so stakeholders can be broadly categorized into three groups: internal, connected, and external. So internal stakeholders are directly connected to the organization and their objective likely to be have a strong influence on how it's run. Internal stakeholders includes employees. So what are the expectation of employees? Pay, working condition, and job security. So maybe yes, we can look around the taxation side. It can be so we need to be look good balance approach. Of course, we have to follow the legislation. So if workers are to be given more responsibility, they are expected to be increase their pay. Nigerian and director status pay bonus. But we need to be look around here moral like Barclay Bank not earn a single penny and the CEO being paid £2 million bonus, yes, and treating as expense in back in 2015. So we need to be think about our moral and our responsibility as a director, as a manager in the company. That's why they included this topic. Otherwise, it's not logical makes sense to include this topic within our business taxation subject. Okay, connected stakeholders can be viewed as a having contractual relationship with the organization. So the objective of the satisfying shareholders is taken as a prime objective. If you not satisfy the shareholders, what will be happen? Yes, they can take out the investment and they will invest in other organization. It impact the share, they withdraw the funding, of course. So we need to be look around. We need to be good, communication system develop. Shareholders, we know the steady flow in income, their needs and their expectation. Then we have a customer. Customer, of course, satisfying the customer needs and they want the cheaper product, and we need to be. And in term of the taxation as well, of course, VAT, value added tax, we need to be charged from the customer, and we are work as a tax collector on the behalf of the government as a company, and we have to pay to HMRC. Suppliers paid promptly, yes. So that's another moral responsibility as well, and we need to be regular communicate with our supplier as well because that's also impact our business. Finance providers, yes, ability. We need to be regular contact with finance, and we need to make our fulfill our legal responsibility. Then we have external. Morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Please, if any question you can ask. Okay, so external stakeholders include the government, local authorities, and groups. So diverse objective they can. Society at large, the general public can be a stakeholders. Of course, regarding the tax can be impact on their lives, so we need to be make sure we have a good communication with them. Anything happen, any legislation, any requirement, and like the Facebook and the 75 million and paid £4,000 tax. Yes, so a lot of discussion going around, transfer the losses and things. So we need to clearly communicate with the public, if any money we are spending on the welfare or other project, we should have a clear communication with the public. So environmental pressure group, that can be government, we need to be communicate, and the trade union. And we have to be regular update, and through communication. Then next we have any question if you have, you can ask please. Stakeholders and conflict. So that can be stakeholders, so employees versus managers. So jobs, wages versus bonus, cost and efficiency can be, because the employees want more, managers want more efficiency from the employees, and somewhere can be a conflict. Customer versus shareholder. Customer want cheaper product, shareholder want maximum profit to earn, and they get the maximum dividend. General public versus shareholders, effect on the environmental versus the profit, and manager versus shareholders, growth versus independency. So that's these we need a good balance approach. We need to be regular, get the feedback from various stakeholders, and we need to involve them in a business so we can make a policy that will reflect more transparency. Any question?
No.
Okay, so then next we have resolving the conflict. There are the number of resolving the stakeholder conflict include the following. This, the suggested the way, to resolve the conflict of objective satisfying involve the negotiation between the key stakeholders, arrive an acceptable compromise, sequential attention, we need to be management focus on the stakeholder need in turn. Example, staff may be receive a pay rise. Our staff may be working in different offices and by law they are authorized to be claimed expenses, or the expenses can be adjusted in taxation. So maybe employee is not aware of, but as as a manager's responsibility to inform, and they are entitled to claim those expenses. So side payments are the stakeholders, the primary objective cannot be met, so they are compensated in the way, so local community may be objective a new factory being built on the site and they will cause the pollution, noise and extra traffic. So we need to be look around how we can minimize the impact or exercise of power, deadlock resolved, by the senior figures, senior management. So that's we need to be through proper communication. Okay, then we have a authors called he developed the metrics which is help the manager to classify the stakeholders according to the power and interest. Some stakeholders have more power, some have the less power. So we can look around this model itself. We can look around within the model is a mission statement. At the company we not conflict with the mission. We need to set the communication priority with the stakeholders. Corporate governance, yes, we communicate about the corporate governance even now in the financial report. The report on the corporate governance we can find within our financial statement. Corporate ethics, yes, we need to be set, like child labors and the true tax as well. So there are the various ethical issues. So that's why we need a good communication system to address these. Then we can further. Anybody any question, please? We okay. Stakeholders can be internal stakeholders, can be external stakeholders. Uh, some have direct impact, some have indirect stakeholders. The power and interest. Some stakeholders have more power and more interest, and we need to be identify those, and we need to regular communicate. Then primary accountability, shareholders and the regulators, the private company shareholders and the funds provider and regulators, principal stakeholders, shareholders, and the shareholders in the large listed company and the private company and the not. So you will see there slightly donors and the grantor, there can be a stakeholder. The main methods are monitoring performance, financial statement, and in the not-profit organization can be financial and non-financial measures like where the money being spent, how much is spent, and the corporate governance board, NEDs. Do we know NEDs, non-executive directors? Yes. And they do we know it can't be really cross directorship and conflict of interest. That's we need to be focused as well. Large listed companies and private companies, and then the volunteer trustees can be in the not profit. Openness and transparency is in line with the corporate governance requirement. Two-tier boards and executive committee, remuneration committee, like should be in our organization. And now is a lot of discussion about employees representation in the board. So limited disclosures and limited requirements, but large demand due to the method of funding can be. Then we discuss about stakeholders, internal, external, connected, all being summarized. Managers, employees, government, pressure groups, and then objective. So everyone have different objective under each category of the stakeholder, and we need to be make sure we'll carry on communicating with them and we'll try to meet. Okay, then we have a 4.2, note the exemption made, limitation to provide the information to the stakeholders. We have a AGM. Do we know AGM? How often we have? Can we call less than a year AGM? We all know about AGM, yes?
In exceptional cases, yes. Sorry, Arjun Mampina. I think that only in exceptional cases, yes. Because that's why it's annual.
Yes, so we can call exceptional cases, like we have to make the decision due to the COVID-19, yes. We have to restructure. Otherwise, is the issue about the sustainability. Yes. So that's, we need to be look around these sort of the issues, and we can call extraordinary general meeting. Normally, at least, once a year within 15 months is must, Yes, but we can call extra. No set time limits, no legal obligation. Separate resolution can be not less than 14 days. So we need to give the 14 days notice, and all shareholder must be notified and entitled to attend if they want to attend. So we should communicate with the various stakeholders. Okay, then okay, that's the key which within, and 4.2 and 3 is all about the mixing. All about the communication. So communication play a key role in every aspect of the organization operation and activity. Internal communication channel, we need to look around how efficient we can use it to develop the relationships, satisfying the stakeholder needs and wants. That's the key. And promoting culture in our organization, our norms, our values, yes, our opinions, our policies should we communicate with. Also, that's is a crucial. And any information, any updates happens, we need to be regular informed too. So then the mass communication, one on one exchange, internal communication take place formally as well as informally, increasing, and this taking place virtually, because of course nowadays of course technology, digital tools, we can use it. If we are a big company like PLC, think about Unilever. We all know about Unilever. Do we know which country own this company? Where they from? Unilever.
Nope. Nope.
America.
Do we heard about Lever Brothers?
Yes, yes.
So it's America then.
Sorry. Do we know the Lever Brothers?
Yes,
so probably it's America.
It's America.
Come on, guys. It's our British company, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So I'll show you. Yes. Unilever brands. Okay.
Yeah.
Lever Brothers is a British company, but Procter and Gamble is a American company. So they have operation in 130 countries. Okay, so UK and Ireland, that we have head office is based in UK. It used to call Lever Brother before, but Uni was the Holland company and the Lever was the UK company, merged together, and the new name is after merger and acquisition is called Unilever. So Uni and Lever merged together, and they have operation in 130 countries throughout the world, different. And we know all these brands, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all, and the various, almost everyone of us really using something, from Unilever, or so their competitors have, if we know. Yes, sorry, my spell. So that's, you will see PG. Yes, so this is American company. So they are competing with each other, and they have a stakeholder. So a lot of tax issues and various other. So they are various stakeholders. So they always try to be, and more they focus on, like Unilever food bank scheme in UK actually started by the Unilever. So it's more about social. So communication is with the various stakeholders we need to be and up to date, so people know us, and we pay the fair share and work in the welfare of society in large. So internal communication, we need to be within our organization and then exchange information and the messages within our organization with the managers and with the function. So in our organization, we call functional area, where we have a departments in our organization: HR, finance, yes, production, marketing. These are the key departments. So these also known as a functional areas. We should work. We have a regular communication, and for communication, of course, we can use emails, letters, and all. And we need to be make sure the audience should get the right message. Okay, then we have, when we'll do the communication, we need to review internal communication framework and processes, conduct the reviews, how the employees are currently receiving and sharing information about taxes and other issues within our organization, which channel is being used, different types of communication, how effective then. So that's why the feedback is very important. So that's, we can look around. Okay, consider the pros and cons of each. Okay, so these are all the communications, the way we need to be communicate with the various stakeholders. Anybody any question? So this is generic discussion is all about, but more that so our communication can be about the solving problem, making decision, develop the plan, gather the convey information, get response, obtain approval, or each consensus we need to be established and understand. Okay, so different. I included some model for you, which I'll share with you in a minute. This I'll share with you a slide. So. Okay, so we need to be effective communication attribute of, we need to make sure using appropriate format, observing and style, we need to be professionally and technically correct and understand and protecting appropriate, corporate image. So we use the one approach is called the pass and kiss. When we communicate with various stakeholders, so passes mean always set the purpose of it, look around the audience, structure and the style, and the kiss it always keep it short and simple, your message, and always do the research, who's your audience are, because we should communicate effectively, because that's our organization image. Presentation, when planning communication link about the professionalism, corporate image, of course we need to be demonstrate the competency, demonstrate the regard and the needs of the user, displaying good design features. Corporate image always we need to be reflect as well. Corporate logos, stationaries, that's all they reflect. And then communication can be formal, informal. Yes, we can write, of course, in our organization more formal can be, and sometimes can be informal. Forms can be internal within colleagues and external within various stakeholders, and methods can be, these are the methods we can use: telephone, voicemails, and various others. Okay, when we have a letters, when we write, of course, we know, the letterhead can be name, the reference, and is it the date, and all, the years and body length, within the text, body of the letters and complimentary codes, your full and your sincerely. And the reports can be, if it's a report you're writing about the taxation and the limitation that the new things, so in introduction, finding, conclusion, recommendation, appendixes we can include as well to inform our stakeholders. Yes, email. So all this is a bit, guidance about how we can make the communication more effective. So then we have a lot of models if we want to embed our some theories in our, especially assignment purposes, yes, to meet this learning outcome. As long we explain, but to get the merit and distance, and so we need to be look around some models. So I'll share with you, which these all will be available on Moodle. So I included, so you will see, good few documents. One model we call is a transactional analysis. Sometime, you have to be as a manager to be parental mode and the child mode. Yes. So Sharon, various others, the models. So these are all the communication models, and some we can use it. So when we have a communications, how we can effectively, so information source, how you transmit, there can be noise. Noise mean is a hurdle to deliver the message effectively. So we need to be make sure the message should be delivered effectively. So these all the documents will represent different models and different tools. So that's, and when we'll do the cross cultural communications, different cultures and different stakeholders. So what we need to understand the cultural diversity, be aware of the cultural stereotypes sometime, assess, the communication needs in our organization, adopt the flexible management style, choose the right communication channel. So it's more about theoretical, and which is we are doing day in and out, yes? So any question, anyone here?
No.
Okay. So then anyone played the Kahoot before? Yes. So maybe we can about this is, see if we can, we have, if it's work, sometimes it's work absolutely fine.
You want to make a quiz?
Which I'll share with you. Okay. Most of us, we are using computer. Are you log in via mobile? Okay.
I'm through my phone.
Okay. You can try on the phone. I'm not sure. Sometimes it's work absolutely fine. So if you type the Kahoot.it, yes, in the search, and then you enter the PIN number, which is, we can use this tool to communicate and check, understanding about things with our stakeholders as well. So www.kahoot.it. If it works for us, it's fine. If not, no problem. And then enter the PIN number, please, your end. We can try. This is a free tool you can set, if you're delivering some training yourself in office, yes, or you're guiding your staff, you can set the quiz yourself, go on Kahoot, you can set up yourself or your account. Okay, can we try if we can? If you type in the search www.kahoot.it and then enter the PIN number, please. And then we'll ask your name or nickname. Okay. Oh, good. We are all there. Brilliant. We are 6. We 4 there, including myself. So one person not managed to join us up to now. Okay. We'll start then. So what will be happen? The question will display here on my, and the next view window will show 4 colors, and you have to pick which one is the right or wrong, or which one you think is the most appropriate in terms of the communication, our meeting, our developing skills. Huh? Oh, brilliant! We all there here. So Leslie, it's a time constraint. As quick you answer, you will get more points. Huh? Okay. Sorry, is my different organization displaying? But anyway, let's we don't play all. We'll go through few. Huh? What do you think? You can pick, whichever you think. Next. I randomly pick, these 3. So good. Okay. So we'll do 10 questions. Okay. So next, please. Good. And we'll do only 10 questions. Okay. Next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. So second law. No. Next will. Oops. Okay, this is second last, and next we'll do last. We're not doing all. We'll skip that. Okay, good, well done. And one. Okay, so sorry, we're not playing. Okay, I'll skip all. Okay, so anyone knows the difference between competencies and capabilities? So nowadays, all the employee checking the more competencies, not capabilities. Yes. Sorry, I'm just skipping all the question and show you at the end, what we are. I think someone skipped. Not doing. Okay, it's just one more minute. Will take us. I think so. We'll be there at the end. Because I randomly pick is more questions. Okay. So this tool we can use if we are doing any training within our staff, or you want to inform your result, you can set up yourself. So the purpose is, and you can communicate your result with the various stakeholders through checking, their understanding or one thing. We can just focus on our result, or we want to give them updates about taxation or any legislation. Okay, so that's our last verse. Okay. So then at the end we can. Okay. So well done, everyone. Yes. Great. So that's all other we. Okay. So we'll keep up to there. Okay. Any question, anyone? Today lesson all about was the communication and the stakeholders, how we can communicate effectively with the various stakeholders. So please, if you have any question, you can drop the email, and the next lesson will be about assignment discussion. So the last, this learning outcome is all about the stakeholders, conflict, and the different models we can use, which all will be available. And I'm not really suggesting which one you use, but you can maybe pick one or two, and you can relate in your assignment. When we'll do assignment to the next lesson, I'll demonstrate as well. So that's all today lesson, and thanks for attending. And if you have any question in between, please drop me email. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Thanks for your
Thanks,
participation.
Anjan.
Great. Thank you. Bye.